What's going on, guys? Your boy K Sparky. Today I wanted to make a video about my Occidental leather bags. I get questions every day about the tools that I use, the bags that I have. By making this video, I can answer some of the questions. They've been around since the 1980s here in California. If you're starting as an apprentice, they're the bags that you want to get. You see everybody from the apprentices to the journeyman to the elites wearing these bags. So this topic about bags, I think it's gonna be a debate forever. I get messages, comments from this is gonna hurt my back, this is destroy my back in the future. It's just never gonna end. There's just certain environments that you need to wear your bags. I don't wear them all the time, especially if I'm pulling wire, troubleshooting, anything like that. I won't wear my bags. A new commercial, we're always running around trying to be more efficient, faster at what we do. Having our material on our right or also our hand tools, so not having to go back to our cards or ask people for tools. I know a lot of guys, you don't need your bags, especially if you're doing service, you're driving around, industrial, whatever it is. I know guys just have their backpacks. There's a million electricians around the world. I know we all have different tasks. We all do different work, different environments. Some may wear totes, some may carry backpacks, just a small pouch. You know, maybe wearing a bag, it's not the best fit for you. I made this setup my own. I like to be more effective and have like my tools with me. Whenever I'm on the go, if I need to complete a task, I just have them right there on my line mates. If I need material, I put them on my other side. I use this setup when I'm installing something. I don't use it all the time, but when I'm on the go, I need to have my bags on. I'd just rather have the tools that I need with me. And also my bags are always changing. Depending on the task, I'll just throw in different tools, and hopefully today I get to talk about that as well. Today, I'm making this video, hopefully answer some of those questions, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I carry and why I carry it. When I first started, switched from a Milwaukee setup to the Occidental leather. Being a lefty Sparky, honestly, I had a tough time finding the right bags for me. I went from a Akita Milwaukee to Occidental leather bags. And even when I got my Occidental leather bags, it was for a right-handed person, and I had to swap my pouches around. So I have my left-hand side, my Electrician's pouch, and on my right-hand side, I had, which is this pouch right here. As you guys can see on the front, it should be for a right-handed person, but I had it on my opposite side, which didn't really make use of it. These pockets, I didn't really use them. Putting material here, get lost in there. I did use these two. I like the little dividers because you could have like screws on one side, connectors on the other, also wiring nuts, corkscrew right there, measuring tape. I heard a lot of complaints about this pouch, and it is kind of true because if you have your measuring tape here, you kind of don't really use this pouch. Whatever you put in there gets lost. This pouch, I had it for like 2 years, so I decided to switch to this one, which I will show you guys in a minute. Also, when I bought this setup, I did not have my suspenders. I just had the padded belt. I had my Electricians, the 4-in-1. I had this 4-in-1 was on my back, but having a hammer on the back, whatever it is, it's gonna slap you on the knee no matter what when you're walking around. Didn't really get to use the hammer, but I will put my rotor splitters, for example. So this is what I mean when I say my pouch is always changing. If I'm doing conduit, I'm doing roughing, I'll play with those tools and throw those tools into my setup, depending on what I'm working on the day or on that week. So I do not always have these tools on my setup, on my pouches, or I can even use smaller pouches and not have all these tools when I'm doing a smaller task or different tasks that does not require for me to use my bags. I hear a lot of people saying that when they set their pouches down, their tools go everywhere. So I always try to hang my bags or either put them in my pack out or have them nicely set on my car, because I know if you just throw them, your tools are gonna go everywhere. So we start with the 5589, I believe, and it says it on the back. All the cat numbers, as you guys can see. The 5589 is the Electrician's pouch. Comes with like 25, around 25 pockets. And obviously, you guys know I need to have my beater. This is like Klein beater. Also, throughout my apprenticeship, throughout the years, I got all the Nipix set and pretty much have them in my bags all the time. I'll start from these. I kind of like made a setup where they go from shortest to longest. That way they don't get in the way when I'm trying to grab something. So first, I have these needle nose. I recently got these. They're great to get into tight spaces. Also here, I have the Twin Force. These are smaller than your regular dikes, but the Twin Force, these are awesome. They're super strong, can cut through anything. Then on the middle, I have the Nipix strippers. These will cut through the 632s, 832s. They come through MC. It has a really nice flathead right there. But I do not use this to use my wires. I usually use this, my lineman, the Nipix. Usually in commercial, we're dealing with more wires, so I like to use this to kind of like grab all the wires and pre-twist. Super broken into, you can crimp right here. Also, I love this feature that you can put your fish shape right there. Like I've mentioned before, we're mostly using metal fish shapes, so the fact that these can grab a metal fish shape and not damage it or bend it like other alignments, that's pretty cool. On this pouch, I have the 180 Cobras. These are smaller Cobras than the regular, but usually these do the job for me. If I'm doing lug nuts or anything like that, twisting connectors, I usually just have these, and these will do the job for me. So these are great Cobras, adjustable, Nipix as well. Recommend these. In the front, I have these Pika marker. I bought these recently, and I think I've used it every day. Every time I use it in my bags, I just use this marker, and it's nice because it just clips in, so I just attach it, detach it. Also, right here, I keep another pencil just in case. I would always have this with me because I would always lose my pencil. Same thing with the pens. If I have a pen on my vest, I would always lose it. So the fact that I have a pencil and my pen just in case I lose that. Then I have this, the wall extension bit. I kind of use this for the tighter spaces. Sometimes when you're going into those tight spaces, the extension bits are kind of wider, so it doesn't let you go in very deeply. So I kind of got this one for that purpose. Another extension bit. This is the Milwaukee extension bit. I've had this since like day 1 too, and you know, I think I just haven't taken it out. It always sits in there in between, so I would have that here. Also my extension bit if I'm carrying other sockets in here. But here's an extension bit. I have it with the Malcolm socket set, which is a 5/16 and 1/4 inch. So this is pretty handy too. I keep this around because usually when you're doing fixtures or things like that, you're bumping into those headsets. So it's always nice to have the extension with it, and I can use it for other things or just attach this to it. I keep the Weha. The Weha is the 3/8 and also the 7/16. These are the most common sizes that I bump into. Unless I'm doing conduit, and I'll throw the other sizes in. If I'm not using them, I will also just take it out of my bag and leave them on my cart. Just depends what I'm doing. This Milwaukee pen flashlight, you know, for those tight areas, just kind of point it in, very handy. Just keep it in there all the time. In here, also you have the loop for this tape. Just kind of like loop it in like that. Easy, love it. I keep my Klein 14-in-1. So I love that, the fact that this has like way more bits than the Wera. So that's why I decided to keep the Klein in my bags instead of the Wera. And over here on top, you can see, you can put like all these bits in. Usually on the front, being a lefty, I always keep the bit I'm using the most, which is a Phillips. And most of them are the Milwaukee extension bits. Here I have a Bosch. One of my coworkers gave me this Bosch. Is the new Bosch Phillips, but these have worked pretty good. I'll probably go and buy more of these because these grab into any Phillips screw, torque it in like nothing. I have this. Then I have a square bit. I think it's a number 2. I have the X1 as well. And I think it's number 1 Phillips as well. As you guys can see, these are the suspenders. They come with little pockets here too. I'll always clip my tester in here. Right now I'm using the Fluke tester, and I'll just clip it in here. I will put a pen or also a knife, it just depends. But at the moment, I just have my Fluke right here. My suspenders, there you go. This is what I was talking about, telling you guys how to put zip tie in here. Klein magnet, magnetizes any bit. Just use it to put it the screws that I'm using whenever I'm working. So if I'm using tech screws, 832s, 632s, I just put them there. If I take them off a device, I know I have them here and not buried in one of the bags. Comes in handy. I mean, I got it from a friend, and honestly, I use it all the time now. I should probably get a different one. I know there's different brands out there, but whatever works for you. I've also gotten ones from Home Depot. Here also we have the sheepskin. I love my sheepskin. They make my bags really comfortable. One thing, I got my padded belt before getting these. So one thing that I would change about this belt is probably changing the padded belt, since I already have the sheepskin, and just get a regular all leather belt with the sheepskin. But like I said, I got my belt before the sheepskin. This was kind of like addition afterwards. You don't really need it, but you know, if you want to, you can always throw it in there. So here, I added another pouch for my impact. Usually my impact, I carry the M12. I would always have it like just buried in here, which would just take up more space. And I figured, why not just grab a pouch that was meant for my impact? Now it's like second nature where I just throw my impact in here. Therefore, I have all this space. I get a lot of complaints, people telling me too many pouches, looking too heavy. But if you think about it, I know a lot of people that just hang it in their belt, which is like the same thing. Why not just have a pouch in it and then you don't have to put it in your belt and your pants. It's just there, ready to go. So working my way around on the back, I have this 4-in-1. I traded this from the hammer loop. I think I will make more use of the hammer tip since I didn't have a measuring tape here. I could just keep it on the back. This as well, I just keep my level. This is a Klein level. Also measuring tape, DeWalt, which is what I use when I'm not doing no layout, anything like that. I got used to using this tape, so this is the second one that I bought. It's a magnet DeWalt, 16 feet. So these two on the back, pretty handy. Just depending on what I'm using, I'll just put the Stanley in here. Now lastly, this is gonna be the 9085. This is a new pouch that I got, and this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the 5564. So can you guys see the difference? Less pockets in here. It does have the dividers, which was one thing that I like. The rest I wouldn't really use as much. That's why I added the measuring tape here on the back. But besides that, I love that this has a lot of pockets. Right here on the back, I keep a 90-bit Milwaukee. I have this Unibit, Impact, Milwaukee. I was at Electricians. I think we're always using Unibits wherever we go. I mean, if it's to knock out boxes, ideal wire nut impact driver or nut driver. And as you guys can see right now, it's empty. I haven't really used my bags. When I came back from Virginia, I kind of emptied everything. But I posted it in a different video where I keep 832s in here, or all the screws that I'm using, material or whatever. And if I have to do summer makeup, I'll just keep this on my cart, put it in here with a bunch of different wire nuts, and have my ideal wire nut right here. You see, like, this pouch comes also with the cases. Oxy Tool Shield 2003. So it comes with 2 of them, which I really like. If I'm done doing makeup, I'll just throw that in there with my wire nuts, put it on my cart, and I'm done. Don't have to be carrying all the wire nuts and having everything mixed right here. That's one thing that I liked about this pouch, but I'll make it work and just got this clip on this pouch, or this pocket, is where I usually keep my phone. I used to have another pouch with my phone that I put on my deck setup. I usually just put, if it's a paddle bit or whatever, I'll just throw it in there. Also on this little pouches is where I keep my tap drill bits. Like I have from 632, and over here I'll have my 832 and also a 1032. So I always keep these with me as well. This is the Billet. I used to have the Milwaukee, and the reason why I switched to this one is because the Milwaukee, I did like it, but the fact that this just comes with a little clip for it, it's awesome. Because when I had the Milwaukee one, I was just throw it in there, and whenever I would pull it out, it would just have all the screws in it, which was kind of annoying. So the fact that these already has a clip on it, it's awesome. I love it. It's just like right there. Especially like me being a lefty, I usually grab my levels or whatever it is with my right. I use my left to kind of like trace it. Same thing with the Klein level. You know, that's why I keep it here. And I'll just grab it with my right. And same thing. If not, I'll just put it in there. Just different options. I have this Stanley knife. It's the green that I usually keep in there. So I always have a knife with me whenever I'm using my bags. This is always in there. Just like that. This CH Hansen magnet. Also, I love this magnet. I used to have one of the earth magnets that will stick to anything that we walk across. But I think this one's pretty strong as well. I love the fact that it has a level. Make sure you guys check them out. Every time we're mounting something, some supports, whatever it is, 1-hole straps, your unit strut, whatever it is, to find studs. If it's commercial, residential, this is also always in the pouches. I'll just keep it in there. We don't really use a hammer loop, but as electricians, if I'm working with MC, I'll just have my roller splits. I'll put them here. I have my nut driver for wire nuts, and also my wire nuts, I'll throw them in there. I can also throw in a light if I need a light. I'll just put it here. That way, if you guys can see, Milwaukee. All the tools that I carry on my Occidental bags. If anything, I do have a lot of impact bits, but I'm always using my impact. And like I said, on this side, it's just additional stuff. Depending on the test that I'm doing, if I need my cobras, so like my level, and I also have my reamer, throw that in, depending if I'm doing pipe or not, I'll just take it out, I don't need it. Same thing with this bit level, sometimes I need it, sometimes I don't, there's no point in carrying it. And that's what I mean, like my setup is always changing. You don't always see me carrying the same things, constantly changing during the day or the week, depending on what I'm doing or the test that I'm doing. So there you go, guys. This is my Occidental leather setup. Also for demonstration purposes, since a lot of people are telling me that this setup is too heavy, I went ahead and bought one of these little weights, digital weights, empty setup, no tools at all. It's at 8.76 pounds. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you can't carry 8, 9, 10 pounds just on your bags, well, maybe I should be doing an office job. Obviously, the more tools you put in it, it's gonna be more heavy. Don't be that apprentice carrying all the tools. Depending on the task, I just shift on the tools that I need. What I'm using, I'll just put it in my cart, in my backpack, depending on what it is. But I do not carry all my tools all the time. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I know there's new followers or people wondering what I carry or just want to judge, but I'm not one of those guys. You know, I learned real quick that if you carry all your tools for no reason, it's just pointless. So just figure out what you're doing. You set up your bags depending on the way you like it. You guys will figure out a method for you, hopefully. But this is my method. I love my bags. Occidental leather. Thank you. Hopefully I do a new video on the Oxy vest soon and show you guys how I like that vest as well and how it fits. This is the setup that I have right now, and it's been working for me. There you go, Occidental Leather. Make sure you guys check them out. Check out their Instagram, check out their website. There you guys figure out what belt, what pouch you guys like the most, and what pouch works for you guys. Thank you guys for the support.